it truly is difficult to believe that it's been, we're not even sure, 15 or 16 years since Beth Israel created our Shlemut program, the intention of which, from a professional standpoint, to deal with the holistic needs on the broadest level of members of Beth Israel and what they're dealing with in their lives in sickness and in health and other milestone occasions. We began with Sarah Shapiro still with us as our Shlemut social worker, and our Shlemut nurses over these last 15 or 16 years, and the clergy. And then, as many of you know, expanded it over the years to an important component with members of Beth Israel in our Chesed committee, in the committee we had for many years of Beth Israel Cares. In the last couple of years, we added our Shlemut legal program, and I know that many of you tuned in for the special program that was offered a month or two ago for our Shlemut legal program. This morning, we formally unveil the next part of our Shlemut program at Beth Israel, called Rey'im. Sherry Stern just this year came on board as our Shlemut nurse. And so I'd like to turn the program over to Sherry to describe for us a little bit about the program. Sherry? We don't hear you.
Duh, as if I haven't done 30,000 Zooms
Yes.
over the this past year.
Okay.
Good morning again. Shalom. As the rabbi mentioned, I am Beth Israel Shlemut nurse since last August and a congregant since before then. We're so happy that you're here today for us to pray and be together and learn about our new program, Rey'im. Rey'im means loving companions, and it's a new part of our Shlemut team, the fifth leg. I'm going to share Rabbi Nina Carden's introduction to Rey'im now. She wrote this for us, for us to share with you, because she could not be with us here today. Throughout our lives, we experience situations, conditions, or transitions that challenge us, whether they are occasions of our own making, created by an acquaintance, coworker, or loved one, or, like in this historically disorienting time we're living through, something that history has thrust upon us. These difficult expanses of time often lead to stress, anxiety, spiritual, and even sometimes physical dislocation. They can negatively affect many aspects of our lives, personally, professionally, and socially. Even before COVID, many studies showed us that today we are experiencing an overabundance of stress. In some cases, we're able to resolve or absorb the sources of stress on our own. In other cases, we are not. And at one time or another, even the strongest among us can benefit from a companion who can help us as we negotiate the onslaught of modern times. Every one of us has reservoirs of resilience that can carry us through hard times, and we all deserve the support that can help access those reservoirs so we may better craft responses to life's stressful times. Many of today's discomforting stresses do not call for the intervention of professional help. They are part of the normal storm and drying of life. Yet they still leave many of us yearning for someone to talk to, someone to listen to us, someone to be with us and support us as we move through our distress and unease. Even if we have friends and spouses, parents and loved ones to talk with, there's some issues we don't want to take to them, at least not again. For as loving as they may be, our standard support circle might be tired of listening to us rehearse our same concerns, or they may be unable to truly hear what we are saying, or they may not know how to help, or they might be part of the problem, We might need and want a fresh perspective, someone who has no baggage that clutters their ability to truly hear us, someone who is willing to listen and accompany us along the way as we traverse this segment of our journey. Rey'im is designed to fill this gap. It is a congregation based initiative of trained peer to peer spiritual companions who partner with other members of the congregation, providing spiritual companionship to those experiencing stress, anxiety, and difficult transitions. Rey'im are not trained to be fixers. They offer no magic cure. What they do is serve as a comforting presence to ease stress and loneliness, to serve as a sounding board, someone who's easy to talk to, who will truly listen and help you work through and walk through this tough time. For sometimes all we need is someone to be there with us and for us, a reassuring hand and the encouragement to hang in there and believe in ourselves. Beth Israel is uniquely poised to integrate Rey'im into our congregational culture. These companions will be a lay complement to our Shlemut team and extend the level of care the congregation already provides. Shlemut, as many of you know, is Beth Israel's initiative, as the rabbi said, to attend to the holistic needs of our community. Rey'im is based on the rabbinic model of walking with. Throughout the Talmud, we read that Rabbi so-and-so and Rabbi so-and-so were walking. And as they walked, they talked. They talked about joys, sadness, laws, and prayer. And it was through this walking with that much of rabbinic camaraderie was established and our traditions codified. We could all use friends who will walk with us. The goal of Rey'im is a trained cohort of companions who can be there to reach out to fellow members of the congregation in times of everyday stress and difficulty, strengthening Beth Israel's culture of caring. It is said, Kol Yisrael arevim ze bezeh. All Israel is responsible one for the other. Arevim, here translated as responsible, really means mixed together. It's related to the word eruv, the boundary that transforms a neighborhood with discrete houses into one common home, allowing Jews to carry in what otherwise would be considered public. So here, when we say Kol Yisrael arevim ze bezeh, all Israel is responsible one for the other, we mean we are all in this together. We are all bound together in this shared community and thus obligated to be there for each other, care about each other, and extend a hand to each other. That is what Rey'im is designed to do. We look forward to exploring with you how this program can enhance our lives and our congregation. And I'd like to thank Rabbi Carden for preparing this for us to share with you. And now, Diane will offer some details about Rey'im, specifically at Beth Israel. Diane?
Shabbat Shalom. I am Diane Burkham. I've been a member of Beth Israel for over 40 years, but probably better known as Howard's wife. We have 2 sons and 6 grandchildren, and since I retired 6 years ago, I've been doing many volunteer activities around town, including helping here in the Beth Israel office. As a Rey'im member, I've studied with Rabbi Carden for several months, and today want to explain exactly how Rey'im will work here at Beth Israel. Since its inception in 2005, Beth Israel's Shlemut team has touched the lives of many people in our congregation and schools by providing free, confidential support and guidance. Currently, as you've heard, Shlemut helps Beth Israel congregants manage their physical, mental, legal, and spiritual needs by offering opportunities to consult with a nurse, social worker, attorney, or the clergy. Now Shlemut is adding Rey'im, a 5th component to its array of services. If a member of our Beth Israel community feels like having a companion for a short while, we want you to contact Ann Friedman in the Beth Israel office by phone or by email and let her know. Ann will then let one of the Rey'im members know, and you will be contacted. Together, we will decide how best to talk, and we will agree on frequency and duration of our meetings. All Rey'im discussions are confidential, and you only need to talk about what you wish to discuss. If ever we feel you could benefit from talking with someone else, we will discuss that option with you. We are here to listen and help you work through a troubling or lonely patch of life. That is how a community supports one another. Besides myself, there are currently 3 other members of Rey'im here at Beth Israel, and they will now introduce themselves.
Ellen Naftaniel, I'm part of the Rey'im team.
Iris Ingber, I look forward to my new role at Beth Israel.
Jerry Banish, and I'm here available to listen and discuss events with you. Look forward to meeting with you.
Thank you all, and we look forward to partnering with you.
Thank you very much to Sherry and to Diane and Ellen and Iris and Jerry. What was implied, but not necessarily shared completely, is that they agreed to take a number of courses of study over many evenings with others that in different ways throughout the community will be incorporating Rey'im, as we will be here at Beth Israel as part of Shleimut. We are recording the talk for this morning, and it will be in the Divrei and on our website for next week. If anyone here today that's joining us this morning for Shabbat feels like they know someone that might like to hear about Rey'im or would need it, please feel free to let them know that through the website or through the Divrei sent out next week, they will be able to get a little more information. Yes, Sherry.
Just one more thing, I'm really excited to share it, and also Sarah Shapiro, of course, is on the Shleimut team as well. I'm really excited to share that we are the first synagogue in all the people who took the trainings to do this. And to be fair, that's because for 15 years, we've already had the Shleimut team and the rabbi and cantor and everyone involved is very excited about this and willing to give it a whirl. So thank you. Toda.
Okay, terrific. Yishar kochachem. So if we can ask everyone to go back on mute, and we will continue with the